person. Like if you want to, then ain't no restrictions on it.
Yeah.
All right, so moving along to the fourth question, which is will thinking like a man leave you a single woman?
For one, that's impossible. For one, that's impossible. Two, yes.
Okay, Lex. So first part of it is, what is thinking like a man?
Where you protecting yourself? I think in general, this ain't the real, but just in general, it's just where we protecting ourselves. You know, got that invisible. You know, and I guess it can also be that dating multiple people. You know, just be like on some gangsta boo type shit. You know, just be like, you're not gonna play me. I'm not here for that. It is what it is. You know, just the roles are reversed. You know, like where the guy was more like, "What's up with you?" You know, but now women are like, you know, they're just, as Keista would like to say, mannish. You know,
Full of crap.
Okay,
You are.
so,
well, thinking like a man leave you a single woman.
Right.
go ahead. So I'll start us off because I'm telling you.
But
You already touched base on this, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and say it on here too. Go ahead.
there is no such thing as thinking like a man. You can't think like a man. You can try all you want, but really you're just thinking like it's not. It ain't even manly.
What is
Like I was trying to put something on it, but you can't really think like a man. You're spinning around in a circle because y'all don't get it. You can't do that. I can't think like a woman. It's not set up like that. And don't think y'all special enough to where you actually can do that. No, just because you're doing things that men do doesn't mean you can think like them or like be a man.
Would it be, I was just gonna say, like, pertaining to the question itself, would you rather change the question to having women, well, if women have masculine ways, does that make them stay single?
I'm glad you said that, Courtney, because that's why I asked what is thinking like a man, because
all of it?
Yeah, because to me, like with that question, I feel like, I don't know, have y'all, probably not, have y'all read Steve Harvey's book, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man?
I saw the movie.
You saw the movie? Okay, so in the book, I don't know if I've read the book or not. I think sometimes they probably just let the title of it kind of like tell them what the book is about. But anyway, in the book, he gives the man's perspective on things, and he's telling women, this is the way guys think, and you need to be aware. So I don't think, I agree with Swamp. I don't think women think like men and men can think like women, but I also I think it's important for you to be aware. You have to be aware of the other person. Like if I'm a woman, I need to know like how you think about things, or how you're gonna handle certain things. Like I feel like that's just a part of being aware. I don't think that means like I have to think like a man or you have to think like a woman, but I also think when people say that, they attribute certain characteristics to what it means to think like a man and think like a woman. And going back to this book that Steve Harvey has, most of the characteristics, when people say think like a man, they mean you're rational, you're logical, you think with your brain. When you say think like a female, they think opposite. They think weak, they think you're off emotions, and they think that you're irrational. So to me, when you say those things, that's what you're telling me. You're telling me if I'm thinking like a man, that I can't think rationally, or I should think rationally.
Who said?
I'm saying in Steve Harvey's book, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. Those are.
Steve Harvey is in jabroni Rudy Poo mode.
Listen, no, listen. This is not. Wait, no, because this is not about Steve Harvey. Let's take that out there. That's not about Steve Harvey. He mentions it in his book, but I'm just saying when people say those things, that's what they're saying. So, but clarify me, because again, what does it mean to think like a man? Like, what do I have to do? If I'm knowledgeable on how I know you move, does that make me does that say I'm thinking like a man? Or if I say, oh, I'm gonna protect my heart or do whatever, does that mean like I'm thinking like a man? Like, I don't know what it means to think like a man.
So you're saying, I just want to be clear on what you're saying, Whitney. You're saying basically people have, like, say think like a man, they're thinking of certain attributes that pertain to like what people see men should be thinking.
Right.
Like.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you completely, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of women, I hate,
Wait. Just because you know the pattern of a man, don't mean you're thinking like a man.
That's
you just
right.
you know the pattern of that man that you dealing with, or whatever man that you're coming across. He's built up a pattern, and you've been able to study that. That's not thinking like a man. You just know I could like it could be you and him sitting back the other way, vice versa. That's not thinking like a man. It ain't about whether y'all rational or not, or this, that, and third. It's the fact that a situation like that I'll be like, wow, I'm thinking like a man now because I know what you about to do and this, that, and the third, and I know it. No, that's the pattern of that man.
Right.
That's not thinking like a man or knowing what a man do. And yes, you can put the mind frame, most niggas dogs, or they'll do this, like, all right, that's cool. But we can't categorize it at that with y'all, because we know a lot of women that ain't worth a cuss or whatever. So like, don't think you're thinking like a man, because we know what a lot of these ain't S women do. You know what I'm saying? So like,
absolutely.
Just because I know that don't mean I'm thinking like a woman. That's impossible. That's why we screw up, because like we ain't too smart at the same time, but like we got the power and the willpower and all the other things is what help us balance out the fact that the wits might not be there as much.
Yeah.
Y'all got that brain jump, but at the same time, that brain will overpower y'all. Y'all can sit and think on something long enough, and that has become true.
You be like, yeah. And that's
so I think I'm agreeing with what you said. So I get what you're saying. Like, just because you know the other, like if you're a man and you know a woman's like their patterns, whether it's women you deal with or dealt with in the past, just because you know that they some type of profile, they act a certain way, you know the patterns, that doesn't say you're thinking like a woman, thinking like a man. So you're basically just saying it's not possible. Like, I'm a woman, I think like a woman. You're a man, you think like a man. You can't possibly be the other person and know what they thinking and know what's going on.
Okay,
well, I can take that.
Let's spin that also with that's with the thinking process. Let's talk about the actions as well. With a lot of alpha males, and we talked about the strong independent Black woman theory or whatever. Men don't like that, which they kind of don't like that, you know. Using me, some transparency, me, I have a lot going on, and so I was told to kind of like calm it down, you know, because I was told that, well, Ashley, if you got this, then what the fuck a man supposed to do when he come to you, you know? And I was like, I thought that was a positive thing. Like, I thought, you know, that's a good traits to have, you know, but couldn't have found out they don't really care about that. They don't, you know, they don't really care for that.
Care for what, that you got your own stuff going on.
Yeah, like they don't, and then they want me to tone it down a little bit. And I'm like,
I don't know if I agree that they don't like it. I think that guys appreciate a woman that's, you know, woman is independent. Yeah, independent. I think self-sufficient is a better word, because I think when you say independent, they automatically think, well, as independent is like you're not dependent on your man. You don't need anybody. But I feel like you can be self-sufficient and still need a guy for whatever. Like, I don't feel like if you're talking to somebody, I feel like you should be there for something. Like, they should be bringing something to the relationship that you need and that you can't get anywhere else. I do feel that way, but I don't think that women should have to dim themselves down or what they have going on. I mean, if I was a guy, but I'm a woman, like I want you to have stuff going on. I want you to be about your business. I want you to do all these things. And I don't know about anybody else, but even when I've talked to guys in the past, like that's one thing that they like you got other stuff going on. Like, you're not just sitting around, you're not just depending on whoever to take care of you, or you're not just, you know, just doing whatever, you know, I would think that you would want somebody to have their own stuff going on. And, you know, you could just be adding to. I didn't know that was like a turn off for people, or a turn off for guys if you like got your own stuff going on.
As when that guy was telling you that, it never crossed your mind that he was just insecure with his own life?
I thought about that as well, but I thought I've had both. I have a mixture of both. I had guys where they wasn't where they wanted to be at that point in their life at that age. And then so when they met somebody like me, there's like at first doing the getting to know each other phase, it's like, oh, okay. And then now that we like 30 days in, 60 days in, they be like, oh, you really was doing that shit. You really be on that shit. I'm like, the fuck you thought I was catfishing you or something? Like, you know, I don't, but I've had those, the insecure guys. Then I've also had the guys where the barefoot and pregnant type shit, where they was like, okay, I appreciate you having that, but baby girl, you ain't got to do all that no more. Like when you fuck with somebody like me. And I'm like, because, you know, growing up, you know, they'd be like, you can't depend on no man.
Yeah. So we got a guy on here now, like, so Swamp, tell us, like, what's your perspective on that? Like, you know, you getting to know somebody and you see a woman that's like, you know, like, sorry, I keep using you, Ashley, but Ashley, she has a lot of things going on. Like, she has businesses, like, she's independent, self-sufficient. Like, when it comes to like dating somebody like that, do you welcome that in a female, or
do I need to tone it down?
Yeah, like, does she need to tone it down? Or, I mean, not that I would say definitely you ain't turn. If they want you to tone,
there's some guys that just don't want that. They don't.
But tell me from a guy's perspective, because they always say we don't hear from the guys. We don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we got one. Any African American or Black,
I think. To be real though, like, we're gonna find a way to turn that up, because, like, truth be told, the standard look of it is the man's supposed to get the money, this, that, and third. But when you let the woman manage it and she's already bringing in a bag, plus you, like, I'm never gonna stop nobody from pursuing their dream. Like, I want you to be happy in what you're doing, and if you flourish, and that turn down for what? Like, in a sense, because, like, you were doing that before I met you. So, like, I can't come in and be like, hey, what's up with it? But you got to stop that right there and let me do this and that. Like, no, bro. I ain't gonna handicap you. I wanted them, you know, be a bonus or asset ability.
So would you feel evaluated if your woman is, let's say she's making more money than you?
I ain't gonna feel nothing.
Probably.
I ain't gonna feel nothing. It's gonna just, like, make me go harder.
So okay, I got that. So let me ask this then. So I don't know if this is the right question, but, like, what's too independent? Like, when you just say, oh, well, she too independent. She got her own thing. I ain't wanna be with her because she too independent. Like, what does that mean?
When a dude tell you that, that's because you made him feel that way.
But how though? I'm asking how would you make somebody feel like you're too independent?
Your demeanor, it shows in a lot of women demeanor and their conversation or they talk. A lot of women will remind you a lot that they want you. Like, that's not something that you got to have. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm willing to, it's like a lot of women that got that bag and independent, they make it feel like it's cordial, not knowing that they making it feel like they call it being real. I'm just being honest. Like, I don't need it. I'm good to go type jump. That already gonna make a man feel less when you constantly reminding him of that.
When you constantly remind him that, you know, when she reminds you that she just wants you, she don't need you.
In a sense, but it could be with just the attitude alone, because like I say, a lot of independent women let you know I'm independent. You're gonna know that off the gate. Like, that's gonna be within the conversation. As an independent woman, she's gonna shoot that out the gate. She's gonna let you know, this is how I got to this point of being independent, carrying myself as such. This, verbatim. You know, this is what you sign up for when you come into this program, in a sense. They're not gonna step out of the boundaries of what got them to that position of being independent.
I'm gonna say this right here, speaking a little bit I've experienced a little bit of all of that. When I do say letting him know that I don't need you. I don't need you. But you good for something, you know. That's not me belittling him as a man or whatever. That's usually that's no. That's a reply to something that he said, not nothing that I just brought up on anything. That's usually something that we're conversing about, and that's just a reply of something that I said, you know. And I'm not saying it in a belittling type of way, because I try not. I don't do that, you know, because I know even though men don't show emotions and stuff like that, like they low key real sick.
Why would you say that?
Because we was talking about something like that, you know.
Just saying, come on, that was a reply. What kind of reply is that?
I mean, that's usually like in a back and forth type of thing, you know. But
I don't think you should do that though. Like, I don't think you should be telling somebody.
I don't think I should be labeled as a gold digger.
I'm not gonna constantly tell you, oh, you know, well, I don't really need, you know, if we arguing or whatever the case may be, I'm not gonna be like, well, I got my own stuff. I don't even need you anyway. Like, you can just go.
I'm gonna tell you when it happens.
My house. This is my car.
I'm gonna tell you when it happens. It happens when I am called a gold digger, and I'm like, how the fuck am I a gold digger? And blah blah blah. That's when that shit start coming up. I'm like, how am I a gold digger? And I'm talking to you. Like, it makes words mean things. Words mean things. Like it doesn't make, like, the same way you were confused about this dating shit, gold digger shit confuses me. I'm like, how am I a gold digger? Like, bro, I got more than you. Like, I could help you get the way you want to be, you know, but you want to do it on, okay, I'm gonna let you do it on your own, you know. But that's when that comes up. Stuff like that. And I don't want to go there, because I can literally say it in a nice, sweet Southern voice. You know, I'd be like, well, I mean, I had this when I met you, and then I'm growing as I'm with you, you know. But yeah, like, that's when it comes up. That's when that stuff happens. When I'm labeled as like a gold digger. I'm like, how the fuck? If I'm a gold digger, then you're a broke nigga. And I hate to have to do that. I hate to.
I think when you talk about like belittling a man, I think the communication comes into that too. Because I'm guilty of doing it, but I didn't realize I was doing it until we finally had a conversation. There were times in my last relationship where I was the breadwinner. I was doing most of the stuff, you know, things were my name, blah, 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 blah. And I wouldn't bring it up like in an argument or something like that, but it would come up often. I'm like, my thing was like, I'm not bragging about it. I'm not trying to throw it in your face, but don't act like it didn't happen. But apparently I was doing that a lot more than I thought I was. I didn't realize I was belittling him until we had that conversation.
Y'all both know it happened, so why are you telling me about it again?
But see, it would come up like in conversation, like it wouldn't be like an argument per se. It would be more so like, you know how you, not an argument, but you kind of, it's like
you're replying to a conversation.
Right. It would come up that way. But to me, that was my thing. I'm just telling you in this conversation, like, don't act like this didn't happen. But I can see when we talked about it, I could see where he was coming from, where it felt like I was kind of throwing it in his face, or he felt belittled. I could see when he told that to me. But in the moment, I'm just telling my side of what's going on with the conversation. So I didn't realize it until he told me that.
You're not gonna mind, and you're not gonna mind fuck me to make me feel like I'm feeling guilty or belittling this man when he's a grown man and he's saying what he said to me as well. And I'm like, because I don't come on that. Like I the peace, the energy, the vibes. Like, I'm real cool. I don't do all that extra shit. I'm the type where I'm working on that. I'm the type where, you know, I'm just like, we need a break. like this ain't. Let's take some time off, you know, like, you know. And then that's when it's looking like I don't want this. I'm not fighting for this. No, I want it, but I'm not gonna, you know, bro, I'm already overweight. You're not gonna give me no stroke or no high blood pressure. Like, we're gonna come back to this. We're gonna revisit this in a couple days. That's where I'm at with it.
I feel like people act like that as far as like the belittling thing and like trying to boss up on you. I feel like that happens often when one person is taking care of the other person. Like, Cortney, I know like the situation you just mentioned, like with your ex, like you were the breadwinner, you were doing most of all of the things. Like, I feel like those type of things are going to come up more often if you are essentially taking care of the other person. And the other person not doing anything and you still trying to stick by and, you know, help them out and do all of these things. And, you know, I feel like that those type of conversations are going to come up more because you have somebody who's literally dependent on you. So, you know, it's almost like having a child. Like you have somebody who's dependent on you for their living. You have somebody that's dependent on you to get around. You have somebody that's dependent on you to keep them uplifted, to keep them supported, and to keep that cushion under them. And it's just like sometimes if you're in one of those situations where you're literally having to take care of somebody, it's gonna get overwhelming and you're gonna get frustrated. And whenever you have a disagreement about things, you're gonna always bring up, well, I'm the one that always do things, and I'm the one that's always doing this, because you literally are the one that's taking care of this other person. It's totally different when you have two people who are supporting each other. Somebody's gonna be on a different level than the other person. Somebody gonna make more money. Somebody's gonna be more whatever in this area. I just feel like if you're literally having to take care of somebody, you're gonna have more of those conversations. And I think that's why I know it's a lot of conversation about it now. You know, women, they get flack if they say they don't want struggle love no more. They want a guy to have this, and this. And I feel like that's part of the reason why. It's just because if you're the person that's doing everything, then you're gonna feel like you're in the relationship by yourself. If you don't have the person that's contributing what they're contributing, you're gonna feel like you're in a relationship by yourself. So why would I want to feel like I'm in a relationship by myself when I can get with somebody who matches what I'm doing? Like, you don't have to match as far as like exactly with, you know, we on the same level with money, we on the same level of you know, support or whatever the case may be. Y'all gonna be on different levels. But I feel like that's one of the reasons why, you know, we have these standards, and I wouldn't even say standards or criteria, just these things that we want when we are dating somebody. And, you know, sometimes people just feel like, oh, well, you want him to have this, or you want her to be doing this, or you want her to do that. Like, it's personal preference. Like, you can't tell somebody their standards are too high. Just like if you feel like somebody's standards are too low, like, dang, you got in a relationship with him and he don't even got no car. He can't even do this. He can't even do that. Like, y'all don't, he can't even, like, he don't even have a job. Like, some people look in their head like your standards are too low to deal with this person. But on the other hand, if you say, well, I want you to have this, then your standards are too high. But I feel like you have to have some type of level, because it's not, somebody's gonna always be pulling the more weight. Somebody's always pulling the weight, and that gets burdensome. Like that creates a burden on somebody.
Sean, where you at with it? Where you at this point of your life? These are just examples. People that are watching, do not take offense to this. Where are you at in your dating life? Are you?
Y'all, it's some funny stuff in the comments. I ain't mean to cut you off, Ashley, but it's some funny stuff.
Are you cashier? Would you date a cashier? You want somebody in the corporate world? You want an entrepreneur? Like, what's your next move, or what? Not just your next person, but where are you at in your dating life? Do you have, or it doesn't, in her title, it doesn't even matter what she do. Are you here for struggle love? Are you an advocate for struggle love?
Yeah. What does that mean?
Like, where a person's not, they don't really have a significant amount of income. Like, do you mind being a provider, like the sole provider?
I just want to, like, if I can vibe with you, we can work it out. Or if like I said, I ain't got too many expectations these days, but just like,
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, I say it in a bad way though. I
okay.
say it in like, I don't come in it with this damn scroll or this checklist of everything I'm looking for, and if it don't fit that, then I ain't messing with it type junk. That we can vibe and like that comes naturally, and then like if I feel like I can go there with you, I'm with it. It ain't too much that gonna break that up unless someone would just give up or some shit like that.
Right.
But you can have good vibes. You can have good vibes with people. Like, I'm the type of person that I give off good vibes. Like, I feel like when people are around me, like they feel that. Even like when I'm around guys,
even through the computer, I feel it.
Yeah, like even if you're like conversing with somebody, and it can be just something as simple as a conversation, like they're gonna get good vibes. So to me, even though like you're saying like you don't have a checklist, in your mind, you already have some type of level or standard that you I'm not gonna say expect, that you would want this woman to have. So I think to me, it just seems like it's you saying like you don't have a checklist, and maybe you don't have like an actual list that you're going down, but you do have some type of, you got to have some type of rubric. You have some,
you got to have some preference, like
something
a
is going on in your mind. Because if she shows you one thing and you're like, nah, I ain't with that, you're not with that because of a reason. Like, oh, I don't like that because she's too aggressive. There you go, right there. You don't like aggressive women, or I don't like the fact that, she's not caring. She does one thing, you're just like, I don't like that. Why don't you like that? Because that's opposite of what you expect. So I think you're saying you don't have like these, you might not have a checklist, but there are things that you want that you expect when you're dating or when you're getting to know somebody.
I ain't gonna really vibe with no person that ain't caring or that ain't nothing. Like, I ain't go, and I'm gonna read all of that. So I just feel like this right here, you can not be like, you could be an aggressive person, but if I see fit to where like I can deal with that, or I feel like I can holler at you and we can work on that together or something like that, and like stuff is intact and I'm cool with it, that ain't gonna be no paycheck or what you making on that's gonna make my decision whether I deal with you or not. Innocent, like I'm not gonna just go get no like somebody that's just like content with whatever or any damn thing or whatever. Got to be about something, yes, that's a given, but like I ain't coming in there judgmental looking for just this right here and nothing less, in a sense, like, because a lot of times we do have to like go a little bit lower than what we really out here looking for, because like it's messed up out here. It's hard for women and men. So like you really got to be like in the mind frame of them. Sometimes I may have to settle for something a little bit under what I'm looking for, or whatever the case may be, and build it up to that, because that's always possible. You got people out here that'll work with you. That's why if you can work with me, that's a lot right there.
Yeah, somebody in the comments, DG actually put a comment that a lot of people are showing love to. He said that I'll date anybody. He said a come up is always possible. The question is, does she want more or not? So he's basically saying that, you could be in whatever situation that you're in, but the question is, do you want more? If you say, yeah, I want more out of life, like, yeah, this is my current situation, but I want to be in a better place, then he can see himself dating that person. I guess he's saying like they don't have to fit into whatever, as long as you want more out of life, then he can vibe
with where you at and just like cool with that. As long as you wanting more and reaching for better, like do that.
Yeah, but I also want everybody to keep in mind, like, everybody has certain things that they just won't deal with. Like somebody mentioned in the comments, Jeremy, about non-negotiables, like non-negotiables or deal breakers for some people. I feel like, people have those things, like certain things they just will not put up with in a relationship. Like, I don't want that. Like, if you coming with that, I don't want it. So I mean, it's all of it is preference wise, but I think what DG said was a pretty good response.
It goes back to one of the episodes when we were talking about this, Ashley, because remember we were like, I don't remember what the question was, but it was something along the lines of like, what are requirements? Like, what would you not go for? Like, do you have a list and all that stuff like that? And I think one thing that you, me, and Keista had agreed on is like, you have to be shown. You know what I mean? It might not be exactly what you want, but if you're trying to get to a certain place that, and I have to see you actively trying to get to that place, I think it's the same thing.
Yeah, but that was when, like, in the dating phase, like the beginning to get to know phase, when we was talking about, I was like, if you tell me that hypothetically, you want to open up, because I don't know what it is about grass, but a lot of men want a lawn care service. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but anyway. So when you tell me in the beginning, like, oh, I want to open up my lawn care service, I'm business orientated. So I'm like, I'm with it. So I'm like, okay, 30-day goals, 60-day goals. And then if you start saving up something, I've also admitted transparency that I will match what you have. And then sometimes if you short a little bit, I'll add a little bit more because I'm showing the initiative. I'm supporting you, or whatever. And I'm not the type that's going to throw it up in your face either, But yeah, I think we all kind of agree that long as you showing that you want something out of life, that you're willing to give that person a chance. Not just like when Sean was talking about You got to dumb it down a little bit. Like your list. Remember, my list was up here, and Cortney said that I think what hinders me was I don't want to date outside my race, like because I want a black man. I want my chubby little brown babies.
That was just one of my things. Because I mean, me personally,
I think you're right though.
Date outside your race. If you're actively not trying to date out your race, you're blocking yourself. That's just me thinking. But I do think your list is a little bit too big.
I narrowed it down. I said a car, teeth, a hairline, and a source of income.
Not everybody got good hairline.
Okay,
listen though,
right?
like in all of that though, I just want people to know in all of those things of people like saying their preference, like, you know, even, you know, our viewers in the comments, like, as long as you want more, I can get with that, or whatever the case may be. Just know that everybody is going to have their preference on a type of person that they see themselves in a relationship with. It's not your job to tell somebody your preferences are wrong, because that's that person's preferences. That's what they want. That's who they see themselves being with as a partner. So you can't tell somebody their thing is wrong. You as a woman or as a man trying to pursue that person, all you can do is say, I'm with it or I'm not. So it's like, if you with it, then you're going to go with it. If you're not with it, then that's just not the type of man for you. That's not the type of woman for you. And you just going to move on. So it's like, no matter what you set your standards to, there's going to be somebody that fits that bill. You know, whether that takes however long to get there or you find it easily, it's going to be somebody that fits that bill. Just like with opinions, you may have your own. 9 times out of 10, there's going to be at least one other person out there that's going to think the same thing that you think. So it's just like, you know, even if you have your standards, preferences, or whatever you want about a person that you want to be in a relationship with, somebody's out there going to fit the bill.
All right. So
I still think Ashley's just a little bit too picky. I'm not saying she's wrong for it. She just picky. Everyone tries to check on all her check boxes, but he got a messed up hairline. She ain't talking.
If your hairline's struggling, then just cut that shit off. Just get a baldy. Like, but if you got a baldy, I need a beard.
Y'all so silly.
I'm just saying. But you know, but Caucasian guys do try to talk to me, but I don't know what to do. Like, I freeze. Like, it's like, I don't know if it's like a Trump supporter. Like, I don't know if they trying to set me up or like just trying to get me over there. Like, I'd be scared. So, you know, I just stay away from that. All right, so that's wrapping up the 4th question, which was, will thinking like a man leave you a single woman? I'm just gonna go and say yes, because men don't like that. They want you to be feminine. They want you to be soft. They want you to be a woman, you know. All right, so going to the last question.